What is alimony? A plain English guide for women in the U.S. Divorce doesn't just end a marriage. It reshapes two lives that were once financially, emotionally, and practically connected. And one of the most confusing and emotionally charged parts of that process is alimony. If you've ever wondered what alimony really means, how it works, and whether you might be entitled to it or have to pay it, this video is for you. We'll break it all down in clear, simple terms. No legal jargon, no intimidation. Just real talk about money, independence, and moving forward after divorce. What exactly is alimony? Alimony, also called spousal support, is financial assistance that one spouse pays to the other after divorce. It's not about winning or losing. It's about balance, helping the lower-earning spouse maintain a reasonable standard of living after the marriage ends. Think of it this way. When two people have built a shared life for years, maybe one focused on raising kids while the other built a career, divorce can create a major financial gap. Alimony exists to bridge that gap while both partners adjust to their new realities. The purpose of alimony: a bridge, not a lifeline. Many people assume alimony is permanent, but in reality, it's often temporary. Its goal is to give someone time to get back on their feet. Maybe that means finishing school, learning new job skills, or simply having breathing room to reestablish independence. For many women, especially those who stepped back from careers to focus on family, alimony can be the difference between fear and stability during that transition. The main types of alimony explained. There isn't just one kind of alimony. The law recognizes that every marriage and every breakup is different. Here are the main types you'll hear about. Temporary alimony. This is support paid while the divorce is still being finalized. It helps cover immediate living expenses when one spouse moves out or loses access to joint finances. Rehabilitative alimony. One of the most common forms, it gives financial help for a limited time so the receiving spouse can gain job skills, education, or training to become self-sufficient. Permanent alimony. This one's less common today, but still possible in long-term marriages where one spouse may never realistically be able to support themselves due to age or health. Reimbursement alimony. If one spouse supported the other through college or career training, this compensates for those sacrifices. Lump sum alimony. Instead of ongoing monthly payments, the court might award one fixed payment. Clean break, no strings attached. Each type exists for a reason, and the court decides based on the story of your marriage, your finances, and your future potential. What courts actually consider? Every state has its own rules, but most judges look at similar factors when deciding alimony. The length of the marriage. Longer marriages often lead to longer support periods. Each spouse's income and earning potential, including education, work history, and health. The standard of living during the marriage. Courts try to prevent one spouse from dropping drastically below that level. Contributions to the marriage, both financial and non-financial. That includes raising kids, maintaining the home, or supporting a spouse's career. The age and health of each person. And finally, the ability to pay, because courts can't order support that's impossible to afford. It's not about punishment, it's about fairness and giving both people a fighting chance to rebuild. Common myths about alimony. Let's clear up some of the biggest misunderstandings that cause unnecessary fear and anger. Only women get alimony. Reality, while women still receive it more often, men can also qualify if they were financially dependent in the marriage. Alimony is gender neutral in the eyes of the law. Alimony lasts forever. Reality, in most cases, it doesn't. It usually ends once the receiving spouse becomes financially stable or remarries. Cheating automatically guarantees or cancels alimony. Reality, in many states, infidelity doesn't affect alimony unless it directly impacted finances. Emotional betrayal doesn't always translate to legal consequence. You have to go to court to get it. Reality, many couples agree on alimony through mediation or negotiation without ever stepping inside a courtroom. Asking for alimony means you're weak. Reality, it means you're realistic. Marriage often involves sacrifice, and alimony simply acknowledges that one person shouldn't suffer financially for sacrifices made in good faith. How long does alimony last? There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some alimony orders last only a few months, others several years. Typically, courts match the duration of alimony to how long it takes the receiving spouse to become self-sufficient. For example, a woman in her early 30s who took time off to raise kids might receive support for a few years while she rebuilds her career. But someone ending a 25-year marriage later in life might be granted longer-term or even permanent alimony if re-entering the workforce isn't practical. When and how alimony can change. Life changes, and so can alimony. If the paying spouse loses their job, or the receiving spouse remarries or significantly increases their income, either party can usually request a modification. But here's a key detail. Don't stop or change payments without a court's approval. Doing so can lead to serious legal trouble, even jail time. Always document your changes and get them legally recognized. Alimony and taxes, what you should know. Before 2019, alimony was tax-deductible for the payer and taxable for the receiver. But under the new federal tax law, that's no longer true for most divorces finalized after January 1st, 2019. Now, alimony payments are no longer tax-deductible, and recipients don't have to report them as taxable income. This change makes it even more important to negotiate wisely, since the after-tax impact can surprise both sides. Alimony versus child support. What's the difference? People often confuse these two. Here's the difference. Child support is strictly for the child's expenses: food, housing, education, healthcare. Alimony is for the spouse's financial stability. They can exist together, but they serve completely different purposes. How to prepare if you're considering alimony. If you're a woman thinking about divorce or are currently going through it, here are a few practical steps. Gather all financial records: income, taxes, assets, debts, and monthly expenses. List your contributions, both financial and non-financial, to the marriage. Be honest about your current and future earning ability. Speak to a divorce attorney or financial planner who specializes in spousal support. Every case is unique. And avoid emotional decisions. Focus on what will help you rebuild stability. Alimony isn't just about money. It's about dignity. Behind every alimony case is a deeper story. A story about time, sacrifice, and fairness. For many women, it's not about depending on someone forever. It's about getting a fair chance to start over without being financially crushed. There's strength in seeking what's fair. There's courage in asking for stability when you need it most. And there's no shame in rebuilding your life with help for a little while until you're ready to stand fully on your own again. Closing thoughts. Divorce is never easy. Financially, emotionally, or spiritually, but understanding alimony can take away some of the fear. It's not a gift, it's not charity, it's a tool for rebuilding, a bridge to independence. So whether you're considering asking for alimony, negotiating terms, or simply trying to understand your rights, remember, you're not taking a step backward. You're taking a step toward freedom, stability, and self-respect. Because at the end of the day, alimony isn't about what you've lost. It's about giving you the support to build something new, stronger, wiser, and entirely your own.